Hello, next video. Today we're gonna take a look at Shadow Heatran in the Open Great League. This Pokemon is now available from Giovanni, and so you're going to be able to get it right now as well, if you want to. By the way, just a small trick, and for the people that always ask how do I get this Pokemon so fast. If you have a Rocket Raider still active basically from the one before, when you save one or whatever, and you have it active when the event starts, which is always at midnight, basically for those rocket events, you're going to have on the first balloon, if you have that thing active already, always going to have Giovanni, and that's basically the easiest encounter. So as soon as it turns midnight for me, which is now 44 minutes past midnight, I am able to get this Pokemon there. Also, I have to say, I must say I didn't play every single battle perfectly here either. It is quite late, I always have to wake up very early in the morning, and so might get 4 hours of sleep today. So if you appreciate the effort, would really appreciate if you would leave a like and subscribe if you have not done that already. Otherwise, we want to take a look here at a team that I think had very similar before. I think I had a very similar before. We're going to have here the Superior, we're going to have the Saysop of Dunsparce, and we're going to have in the back the Heatran. Of course, we didn't have the Heatran the last time we had this one. I don't actually remember which Pokemon I had instead on the back. But I definitely know that I used the core already of Superior and Dunsparce. I think I actually used the Saysop of LilyKatchum and had then Dunsparce in the back. I think that was kind of what I wanted to do before, because you will have access to Solar Beam on LilyKatchum. Anyway, first battle was already a victory, which was not really down to Heatran, because Heatran was just able to fully farm them down. I was quite often quite late at swapping out, which was an issue here, for example, as well. Maybe if I was a bit faster at swapping out in this matchup, I would have been able to avoid using a shield there, but I kind of did not really want to risk a potential Earthquake, but of course also I didn't really count the moves there either. We're going to have the Stone Edge coming through here. It is going to be able to do some nice damage against the opponent's Germnaa, but I'm not too sure if this is going to really work out for us. Stone Edge is going to get them quite low though, and we have to take now an Ice Beam from the opponent. I have to hope there's a matchup in the back where our other Pokemon, our Dunsparce, is going to be fine against. It's going to be a Dugong here, and that is going to be quite a neutral matchup. We have super effective coverage with both our fast move as well as our charge move, but it's still not an ideal matchup at all. We're gonna try our best here with the next Rock Slide. This is going to be enough to hopefully get the shield here. Let's see, we're gonna get the shield, but we can go for a back-to-back Rock Slide. I think we win the CMP tie against the opponent as well. And if we get the final shield, we kind of fine, because now we are like one fast move away from our Superior to get to next charge move, and this would be very good for us to win this battle here as well. Icy Wind is coming through, and yes, we can go for the Frenzy Plant, which kind of seals the deal. There's only an Azumarill lurking in the back, but we still have a shield left, and that is going to be a good game. Next opponent, low kicks in lead. That's going to be horrible for us. We have to swap out straight away. But the cool thing about low kicks, or like for us at least the good thing is, Heatran double resist both charge move. They're usually running the Exit as well as the Trailblaze for this Pokemon, and both of them going to be fine for us. Here the opponent was able to catch a move again, which actually is a bit impactful, I would say, because now they got a bit less damage onto them, which is gonna make it less likely for us to fully farm them down with our Superior, which is quite awkward, as now we can at least still go for a drill run here, but the opponent would be way lower already, down to most either close to the red health at least, and this would have been way easier for us to fully farm them down. Like this, we're definitely going to be forced to go for another charge move with our Superior against the opponent, and we have to see on how this is gonna go. It is going to be a Fire Punch coming through from the opponent, and we can swap back into the Heatran to face off against the opponent's low kicks. This is going to be okay. Trailblaze is going to be double resisted, and we are going to be able to now go ahead and at least get a shield up, I guess. It would have been really cool if we would have been able to farm them down without having to use a shield, but it is what it is, and that's going to be fine. Magma Storm is coming through now as well. And the opponent has the Toxapex in the back, which is like one of the things that I'm kind of curious about as well. It might be even better if you would run Earth Power on the Heatran in the current meta. There are quite a lot of Poison type Pokemon, and Earth Power would give you some super effective coverage. Might be something to consider for the future. But as you're gonna see here, we're sadly going to have the Toxapex again against us. Again, an Earth Power would do a bit more damage, but we're not going to be able to get to anything here anyway. And so it is down to that Superior to seal the deal. We're gonna try our best, and let's see how this is gonna go. The opponent gonna be able to still get to another charge move, and we're sadly going to lose this battle. With this, we're going to be able to move on now to the next one. We're going to have a Dunsparce here. Dunsparce is going to be a very good matchup for us. Dunsparce is going to do only neutral damage, and we're going to be able to also do neutral damage, but our damage is going to be way more because our damage is stab damage, and also Frenzy Plant is one of the strongest moves in the game right now. And so we are going to try our best here to still have a great time, at least, with our superior. The opponent goes for a Rock Slide, and I'm fairly certain I can just go for an Aerial Ace at this point to knock them out. They still need one more extra fast move afterwards, so even if they're gonna survive with a few HP, like here, we're gonna be able to fully farm them down, and now we're going to have alignment. But not only this, we're also going to be able to keep a charge move stored, which is really, really good. So what we're gonna see next is the opponent getting into the Chestnut, and this is going to be a very bad matchup for us. Interesting team from the opponent though, like having this kind of alignment, this is something that I see quite a lot of times now as well. I think that's kind of the new strategy of today's season. I see it basically all the time, like the strategy of trying to win the lead and then just try to realign yourself with all the other Pokemon that you have. So I basically have a good core in the back, like a perfect core in the back, here in this case Talonflame plus Chestnut, and then you're going to try to just align yourself with the lead. Here we're going to have the awkward matchup of Talonflame against our Heatran, and yes, there's no real way of us winning the battle, as the Incinerate is just hitting a bit too hard. Also, forgot, I think I didn't even mark it on the right side, and I don't see the right side by the way for me, but Magma Storm is a legacy move by the way on this Pokemon. We're going to see Drifblim here coming in against us, horrible lead for us. Again, we're going to have to swap out straight away as the opponent catches the move again, as I said before. I did not play the matchups perfectly fine. Like, I definitely could have played a lot of the matchups a bit better, but it's kind of more down to it being late, and so I'm kind of sorry about this. But as you can see here, the Diggersby is now going to go up against our Dunsparce. I kind of want to try to keep the Dunsparce alive because we kind of need this Pokemon here in this scenario. So I'm going to try to keep the energy for a bit. I might gonna be forced to basically go for another charge. But no, we can actually swap out here already. Let's swap back out into the Drifblim, which is a horrible matchup for us. But again, we kind of would like to keep our Dunsparce for that Drifblim. We're gonna try our best here. Frenzy Plant is coming through, and as you will see here as well, this is gonna get them quite low, where we're gonna go for the full farm down with the Heatran. We're gonna use no shields as well. Icy Wind is gonna connect here, gonna do some solid, not really solid damage to be fair. That's kind of why we want to go into the Heatran, but they're gonna still have the Dunsparce in the back, and we have to be a bit careful. Dunsparce has access to the move Drill Run, easily one-shotting our Heatran, and as they're gonna reveal, of course, the Diggersby there in the back. We're going to have again a double ground in the back, which is not going to be ideal for the Heatran in the current meta. And that's going to be, I think, the biggest issue for this Pokemon. Double ground is quite common, or just generally speaking, ground type coverage is quite common. And if you are a Pokemon that is double weak to ground type coverage, it is a bit of an awkward one. So, as you can see here, the opponent is going to be able to go for that Drill Run, and we're sadly going to lose this battle. Moving on to the next opponent, we're going to encounter again a very bad lead for us. It's going to be the Guzzlord, which is of course not ideal whatsoever for our lead. We're going to see here as well that the opponent is going to go for a Dragon Claw, as we're going to try our best, but they're going to have the Fortress now in against our Dunsparce. I want to have this against our Heatran. It would have been so much better for our Heatran. Being double super effective against them would have been great. But as you're going to see here as well, the opponent is going to have to take that Drill Run here. It's going to be fine. Let's see how this is gonna go. We're gonna use a shield. The opponent goes for a Rock Tomb, and I just try to get as much energy as possible. We're gonna be able to get actually quite a lot of energy here, and I'm gonna hope that we can use it later on against that Guzzlord. I'm gonna let the move go through. We already saw the Dragon Claw before, and so this is going to be something that at least I can take. It's going to be resisted, and the opponent has another Drifblim. Drifblim currently definitely the one Pokemon that is seen the most. Like, this Pokemon got a huge uprise right now, which I'm not too surprised about, for the big reason that this Pokemon is going to be one of the core breakers for the core of Diggersby plus Toxapex, and you see this one quite often. But not only this Pokemon is also so insanely neutral and so insanely strong in the two-shit scenario, especially the Shadow variant of Drifblim. Like, even in like neutral scenarios, like, you're gonna most likely go down just from the Astonish damage itself. Like, having Stab Astonish while being Shadow, while having Icy Wind is ridiculous. Like, this Pokemon is definitely deserved very, very good. I will imagine that we're gonna see like also regional wins with this Pokemon very soon, because it is just a very good core breaker in the current meta. And yeah, here we're gonna still try our best though, and the opponent goes for a Charge Move. I hope it's not going to be a Sludge Bomb. I sure went straight for the Aerial Ace, most likely there, but I can still go for one right now, and this is going to be enough to take the KO here, and so we are going to be able to win the battle as the Drifloon goes down. Honestly, I have no idea how we really were able to win this battle, but here we're gonna see something that I actually didn't know. There's something that I actually really didn't realize here as well. And this might be something interesting. Here, of course, you get the very unfortunate defense fail. This is insanely unfortunate, and it happens basically every single time I swap in my Dunsparce against Drapion. I have not seen yet a case where I didn't get the debuff literally immediately. And this is gonna allow them to just basically put us into awkward hill range. But not only this, we're gonna see it exactly here at this point, I think. The opponent is going to be able to take the hit. And I was very much confused about this. And here is two things that I could do. Either I'm going to go for the charge move, or I could try to go for the still full farm down, but I'm not too sure if I would be able to get it done. I should have tried to go for the full farm down, because now the opponent is able to realign because they are the non-shadow variant. If they were the shadow variant, I would have been able to knock them out already. But yeah, they are now going to have their Mandibuzz against our Superior. And we have our fire and steel type Pokemon against the opponents. Yeah, now Mandibuzz, we were able to catch the move, but afterwards against the opponents Gastrodon. So it's going to be sadly lost there as well. But generally speaking, I actually went quite decently with this team. And while I lost definitely quite a lot of matchups because of my own silliness based on the time right now, like literally I'm awake since 6 AM and now it's 1 AM again. So like, yeah, I'm a bit tired. I have to say, definitely going to be some battles that you can win more that I did not win here. That being said, I'm gonna still try my best, of course, to win all the battles here, even though my abilities maybe not as great right now. Actually, for commentating, it's kind of okay still. There are a lot of times where I have like those videos very late at night. I'm like trying to commentate and be like, gonna fall asleep now. No, it's going to be fine here right now. It is going to be totally okay. As the opponent goes into the chestnut, I was not really sure on what I want to do here. I decided to stay in, which I feel like in hindsight is a bit of a mistake. I should just went straight for the Aerial Ace and then swap out into the Heatran, because Heatran can actually farm them down. But of course, Superpower is very scary. I don't think I would have been able to go for the full farm down before they can get to the Superpower. And so I just decided to knock them out here anyway with my Superior without swapping out. But I still decided to keep my Superior because we have kind of an ABB style line. It is not really an ABB style line, but it's kind of an ABB style line. But no matter what, I am going to be able to somehow align my Clodsire, my Dunsparce against the opponent's Clodsire, which is great because, like, I know I was in a neutral matchup and they just get me into a very positive matchup for myself, and I'm like, why would they do that? I don't really understand. But I am not going to be here to question their decisions. I am definitely going to take that matchup for sure. And I'm going to let the move go through as well, because I kind of am going to be forced to rely on that Heatran. They swap out into the Dunsparce. I'm going to try to catch a move here. It didn't work out. I can go for the Aerial Ace, which hopefully is going to be enough to knock them out. It is not, because they use a shield. And now I'm just going to try to rely on that Heatran. Heatran gonna be able to go for the full farm down most likely afterwards. They're very likely gonna be able to go for one charge move though first, which is fine. We're gonna see that, shield coming up from us. Drill Run is coming through. And now it's down to our Heatran to win the battle. We're gonna see the Clodsire coming back in. Can we still win this one? The Magma Storm is coming through. It is a Surf from last season as a fire type move, which is quite solid, not overpowered. And yes, we're gonna be able to win the battle. I feel like Magma Storm could get definitely a little bit of a buff. Maybe even give it just a chance to drop the opponent's defense, because Magma Storm, I think, is a trap move. Like, basically, in the main series games, it would just trap the opponent onto the field and would do damage every turn. But I would see definitely, like, an upgrade for this move would be really, really cool, because, again, like, Heatran is not really overpowered in any of the leagues right now. And I feel like it's a very cool Pokemon, and honestly, it deserves to be good. Like, if you ever watched, like, VGC and stuff like this, you know that Heatran is always kind of one of the best Pokemon when it's available. But yeah, definitely an interesting Pokemon for sure. Anyway, we're going to take a look here now at the Toxapex matchup. They're going to go ahead and go for the Sludge Wave. We can go for the full Farm Down. And they swap out into the Dewgong. Make a bit of a mistake by not going for the Rock Slide. It's like 5 more damage for a Rock Slide, so it's not like the end of the world, but definitely could have been a bit better. And they decided to actually swap out of here into the Moltres. That's not really ideal. We're going to have to now try to win this matchup. The final one here with our Shadow variant of Heatran. I'm not too sure if this is going to work out. We have to kind of call the baits. I think it's not going to be a Brave Bird. I think they don't really want to debuff themselves yet. And yes, it's going to be the Ancient Power, which is going to allow us to go for another charge move. This is going to be enough to get them at least low. It's not going to get the knockout or anything like this, but at least the opponent is going to be quite low as they decide to go for another charge move. I think I'm going to be fine here. I'm fairly certain that I'm going to be able to now win the battle with my Heatran, as we're going to see here the Magma Storm coming through. It is going to get the final shield from the opponent, and we just need one more Magma Storm to knock them out. And let's see how this is gonna go. We're gonna have the Drill Run coming through here. We're gonna be able to go for the Magma Storm. This is gonna take the KO against the opponent, and we are going to be able to now win the battle. And that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully this showcase definitely helped you out there. Heatran, definitely a cool Pokemon. If you don't have a Great League one already, maybe you might want to get one. But also for the Master League, this Pokemon would be really good if you can build it. So yeah, maybe get this one. And I'll see you then. Bye bye.